Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Legend Lore Chats. On the Brawlhalla Lore YouTube channel, I am Baron Dipitus, and with me is Ashy Arts. Hello. So, today we are talking about everyone's favorite, I was about to say enlightened monk, but that's not quite true. Everyone's favorite monk, Wu Shang. So,
I like the favorite parts, what's not true.
yeah. Ashley, you can either read the pitch for a TV show or Wu Shang.
I'd read the TV show. Okay. Wu Shang is a wandering monk who is renowned his violent, mysterious past and walks the earth seeking enlightenment. He seeks to avoid tension, but each week, Wu Shang must use martial arts and ancient wisdom to solve problems in a new location. Pitch for Karate Chop, a TV series clumsily based on the life of the legendary warrior monk, Shang.
I might watch that. Like I watched Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon once, and I mean I've also seen Kung Fu Panda, and I think some of that stuff is pretty cool. Some of that wuxia.
I don't like beards.
You don't like beards? I mean, as an artist, you told me that you don't like beards, but anyway.
Still gonna do it.
This is not the afterlife. I know because I breathe and still seek enlightenment. This is but another station on the great wheel. Wu Shang, responding to Bodivar's welcome to Brawlhalla. As the story goes, a brilliant and ruthless general led the Emperor's armies to victory after victory. But his heart was empty. One day, he rose from his tent, stripped of his finery, and walked away from war and power. Penniless and in rags, he came to a monastery. The monks took him in, and he took up the way of peace, discipline, and martial arts. As his mind grew clear, he realized he didn't need to kill, and took the name Wu Shang, which is rather significant. Anyway, when the angry emperor sent his agents to attack the temple, Wu Shang defeated a company of imperial soldiers without hurting a hair on their heads. To protect the monastery, Wu Shang took up a life of wandering, honing the soft powers of distraction and influence. He once concealed 100 villagers in a single willow tree. He sneaked into the palace stable and turned the emperor's horse against him. He hid a bridge from an advancing army. How do you do that? Having looked for bridges are like I've played Fire now and I've played other strategy games. Bridges are important strategic points. How do you hide those things? Anyway, having looked for enlightenment in every corner of the world, Wu Shang let himself be captured. The emperor's men shackled him deep inside a volcano. There, in the dark, Wu Shang breathed in the silent energy of the mountain. His inner eye opened, and he found peace. Projecting himself outward and away, he wandered the astral plane until a Valkyrie led him to Valhalla. Wu Shang follows the way in Valhalla, and is delighted to find he can fight without killing. Kor is teaching him to move platforms.
Well...
Yeah,
he's
yeah, not just Blackguard Keep, just platforms in general, I guess. So yeah, that's right. Wu Shang is not the name he was born with. He had a different name when he was a emperor's general or something. But he took the name Wu Shang because in Chinese, Wu Shang means nothing. Literally, the word nothing. Which I think
that's fairly smart.
That's really cool. Don't need to kill. He was seeking enlightenment. Buddhist monks are very we hear a fair number of stereotypes about Buddhist monks and meditation and things like that, and kind of detaching themselves from the world. But that's honestly in very, very general terms, kind of like what they're about. They're about detaching yourself and trying to seek enlightenment, trying to kind of transcend mortal cares, essentially. And then, let's see. Connections. Wu Shang reveals that Jiro is hiding behind the grand tapestry in the Great Hall as part of the yearly hide-and-seek tournament with Kaya and Caspian. So Wu Shang kind of like rats him out, basically. I can just imagine Jiro saying, "Come on, man!"
It's like, stop, you're not hiding from death, we can't die here.
Like, come on, man. Now, I don't want Caspian to win again, or whatever, I don't know. The biggest connection, though, which is not mentioned here because the other legend didn't appear for a while, Lin Fei, if I can get to her portrait in the game here. Here we go. Lin Fei, as a young girl, challenged General Wu Shang's armies. She later told him how to improve his Fist of Fire technique, which would be all of his gauntlet sigs. Like, I wasn't sure if there was a specific gauntlet signature from Wu Shang that would be the Fist of Fire, but they're all like, they all use his hands and fire, like fire bending basically. So I think it's pretty much all of them. She told him how to improve that with a few breathing tweaks. Wu Shang is still oblivious to the fact that Lin Fei was the little girl who challenged him and caused him to change his ways. So I wonder if she'll ever tell him. Maybe not.
I don't mind. At least this death is mysterious.
Yeah, exactly. In the lore wiki that I have, I talk about. I go into a few general things about Buddhist monks. I have no idea when Wu Shang would have lived. The whole thing about like an emperor attacking a temple. There are several cases where there are several times when that could have been the case.
Training.
And I'm clueless as to when exactly he would have lived because Buddhist monks have been around for a long time.
Wu Shang.
There we go. I'm going in training and just kind of like having Wu Shang fight a little bit. Wu Shang's spear is called Shang, Qiang. That's the Chinese word for spear. So just like with Hattori's weapons, being a yari and a katana, like that's just the word for it, really. But yeah, if it wasn't clear to anyone, Wu Shang is specifically Chinese. Buddhist monks are, Buddhism is found in many countries, but here we go, Fist of Fires, here we go. But it's pretty big in China as well. There we go. I guess, well, his down signature is more like he's pushing fire. So maybe it's his gauntlet signature. That's specifically when he punches with fire. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I don't remember what his gauntlets are called. But yeah, his spear is just called Qiang because that's what the Chinese call a spear. And that's one of our big clues. If you want the explicit proof that Wu Shang is Chinese, that's explicit proof right there that his spear uses the Chinese word for spear, essentially. Also, you probably like Wu Shang if you're a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Wu Shang is basically a firebender, of course. His spear sigs don't... they seem like they use fire to some degree, but his spear sigs are interesting because he strikes a pose where there's like a kind of a wong sound, and then he attacks. So it's like he strikes it. I really like his spear down sig because he stands on top of his spear, which is very like mystical and wuxia like defying gravity, that kind of thing. Several mystical wuxia films and whatever do that kind of thing where it seems like they use magic to some degree when they use their ninja or their warrior techniques. But yeah, Wu Shang's weapons are perfect for monks, essentially. Like that's what monks would use. And also just like this. Again, I reference Dungeons and Dragons a lot, but it's just like it's a very well known and popular kind of fantasy thing in the world. There's a monk class in D&D and many other fantasy type games of all kinds. And monks pretty much always have, like, they're more powerful when they don't have, like, weapons and armor, essentially. So, unarmed combat, being quick and easy, and they dodge a lot and that kind of thing. Let's see, what else about Wushang? Oh yeah. There's mention of Wushang basically being brought to a volcano and breathing in the energy of the mountain, which I think is a very nice way of saying he died in the mountain.
Oh.
I mean, what else would it be? Like his third eye opened, like in the midst of that, right? And there's actually a skin about.
He seeked enlightenment from lava burning down his.
Oh yeah, so there's the perfect Wushang skin has a third eye that opens up when he attacks. So, which I think is pretty cool. Is there anything else? I think that's a. I don't think I have much more to say about Wushang. He is the legend that has the first crossover skin in Brawlhalla, by the way. So this Rano skin.
That is really underappreciated.
Yeah, this Rano skin here. Rano is a character from Rivals of Aether, and there was a very friendly, lighthearted competition between Rivals of Aether and Brawlhalla. A number of years ago, not a number of years ago, like a couple years ago, to see who could get the most Twitter followers, and Brawlhalla won by a landslide. And so the loser would make a skin from the other game into their game. So Rivals of Aether lost, and they made a Ragnir skin for their Weasel character Maple. But BMG, being the awesome people that they are, they decided, you know what, it'll be fun to make a skin too. So they took the character Rano, a poison dart frog monk kind of character, and made him into a Wushang skin. So it's not an epic crossover. Like, this is the only crossover skin that I'm aware of that's not a quote-unquote epic one. It would be cool to have that.
Why not, though?
I mean, epic crossovers were not a thing back then. So, like...
But they should have made it a thing back then.
I mean, the first epic crossovers we had was Shovel Knight. And I guess we don't even have... Rano's... You know how... I'm in training mode right now. You know how epic crossovers have their own character selection spot, right? Rano doesn't. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of a shame. To be fair
BMG,
here,
come on, work on it.
I mean, to give BMG the benefit of the doubt here, I think, like, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. But BMG did the Rano skin of their own free will. They just did it for fun. All these other epic crossover skins are clearly like paid promotions, basically, of some kind. Like Rayman is obvious because of the Ubisoft connection. Hellboy, I mean, the Hellboy movie was coming out at the time, and so I'm guessing they got paid to make those skins. I guess Shovel Knight as well. I don't know. Would yacht clubs have paid Brawlhalla or Ubisoft? Because Shovel Knight is everywhere, so I don't know. But then Adventure Time, that just seems very random. But yeah, epic crossover skins are more expensive and there's more work in them because I'm guessing they were paid more money, Ubisoft / BMG, to make those particular skins. But Rano, no, it was kind of a little pet project. It would be cool to have some of Rano's poison dart effects, really, because I have Rivals of Aether. I played Rano. He has some really cool, like, poison bubble kind of things. That green kind of chain necklace he has around him, those are like green beads of poison, essentially, that he manipulates and kind of waves in the air and stuff. It's pretty cool, actually. But, alas. Yeah, I think that's all I have about Wushang. My favorite part about Wushang is, first of all, his signatures are pretty cool, but mostly the connection between him and Lin Fei. They're the two Chinese reps in the game. So, all other quote-unquote weeb legends, as some people like to say, to my knowledge, they're all from Japan. your Hattori, Jiro, Koji, and Yumiko are all from Japan, but Wu Shang and Lin Fei are from China. And I think Lin Fei's lore actually explicitly says China. So, but yeah, I think it's about all I've got here. So, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, GG, fellow lore nerds.